Far away from the politics of Westminster, Sir Keir Starmer today in Scotland with a serious policy plan to transform the UK into a green powerhouse.
The reality is this: the moment for decisive action is now.
The man who wants to be PM with a pledge that all electricity be generated from low-carbon sources, be that nuclear, wind, solar, by 2030, done through a state-funded company to invest in clean power, headquartered in Scotland and with subsidies for thousands of green jobs, paid for by £100 billion or more of borrowing.
We've got to seize the new opportunities. We can cut bills, create jobs and provide energy security for Britain. That's what a Labour government will deliver.
But the plan expensive, Labour in recent days scaling back its commitments. You have already U-turned on your £28 billion a year investment into green transition. Your Shadow Chancellor said it shows you can be trusted with the public finances. But doesn't it also suggest, as with Brexit, tuition fees, nationalisations, you're just like all of those other politicians?
On the £28 billion, we are doubling down. We're not backing off. So there's nothing here to read into any sense of lacking ambition or backing down.
Not backing down, instead pressing on. Keir Starmer keen to be seen here.
Doesn't it speak volumes that the Labour Party is today launching a plan for the next generation of jobs, whilst the Tories are squabbling back in Westminster and the SNP are preaching about promises that they have broken?
Publicly determined, driving forward his missions for a Labour government. But this leader knows too, to deliver is a gigantic task. Clean power by 2030, so all of our electricity from renewables. Is that a guarantee or is it a target?
It's the ambition and it's doable.
So but it's not a guarantee because you might fall short because it is so ambitious.
What I've done is I've sat down with the sector and said, this is what I want to achieve. Is it possible for us to achieve it? So it's not just a target that hasn't been thought through.
From the industry, cautious optimism.
The target for a decarbonised power sector by 2030. At the moment, the IEA, which is the International Energy Agency, says that all developed countries need to achieve that by 2035 at the latest. So this is in line with the climate science.
But political opponents less convinced.
Why on earth should we trust a Labour Party that in successive UK governments has squandered not tens but hundreds of billions of oil and gas revenue and not invested but a fraction back into Scotland?
With Westminster bogged down in the Boris Johnson psychodrama still and the SNP reeling from the implosion of Nicola Sturgeon, Sir Keir Starmer here in Scotland has just announced the single most radical policy of his government should he win the next general election. Billions and billions of public money funnelled into the green economy, but voters taking a look at him might be wondering why he's not putting that money into public services like hospitals and schools instead. For now, smiles, the polls and prospects for this party positive, this part of the country crucial to any victory, and these politicians not taking anything for granted. Beth Rigby, Sky News in Leith.